For today's project, you see a flatbed in front of me. We're going to be adding in railings for the sides and the rear as pictured right here. I know it's not the most sophisticated drawing, but it is a program that I can use to give the customer a visual representation of what I have vision in my head. So that's what I'm going to use. So first, I am going to cut the U-shaped brackets, 1, 2, 3 of them for each side, and I'll cut and bend those, and then I'll build from there. So let's get started. For these U-shaped portions, I'm going to be using 1/4 inch thick by 3 inch wide aluminum. If I didn't note that earlier, all of the railings will be from aluminum. So these are the first parts. So we need 6 of them. I already have my backstop set up to 6 1/4 inches. So it's just feed and cut and repeat. It might be time for a new saw blade. That sucker cut awfully slow. There's one, 5 to go. So here are the parts that I'm ultimately going to make. However, I wanted to make a note. I knew that there was cracking issues that would happen when you're bending. So with 1/4 inch, it will crack if you do not heat it. However, I found this nice little article on the Fabricator, and he said to heat up your bend lines to reduce or eliminate cracking, and absolutely it does work. On the left, you can see no heat, and on the right you can see no heat, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see the cracking that I'm talking about right there. You can see the cracking. That is no heat, but on the heat treated piece before bending, it's nice and smooth, no cracking. That's what I want. So now I need to go through each one of my pieces, mark off the bend line, and then I'm going to heat each one up individually and bend one at a time, because I don't want to heat all of them up at the same time and then obviously have all of the heat dissipate over the time I'm waiting. So now I'm going to mark out my bend lines. So I already have the machine set up, so the back gauge finger's already there waiting. So what I'm going to do is just stick it in like I was going to bend, and then take a Sharpie, score a little line, flip it around, do the same thing. So that way I'll have a way to know where I need to heat up for my bend lines. Okay. So as you can see my lines, we put on the appropriate glasses here so I can look into that flame. So the way they described to do this was to take acetylene first, just acetylene, no oxygen, go over your lines and get it nice and sooty. As soon as it's sooty, then you apply the oxygen and heat it until that soot disappears. And it works exactly the way I say it is. So let's check it out. So get it going. See how nice black soot? Now I'm going to apply oxygen and burn it off. And you'll start to see it disappear here shortly. There it goes. Now I can see my lines again. So I'm going to heat it up, so that way I can no longer see the mark. Okay, so that piece is ready to bend. Now, aluminum doesn't really change color when you heat it up, so that thing is really hot. So don't grab that with your hands. So I'm going to go over here, flip it upside down. All right, these are the parts I'm looking for. And so I just need to do that 5 more times. And so these parts, they'll fit right over the top of that. And then the railing will sit on top. So that's what'll keep it fixed to that ledge. So I'll stick that down there, let it cool off, and continue on with the rest of them. There are my 6 parts. All 6 are fitting. I've also got my cut list ready, so now it's back to the saw to start cutting the 1.5 inch aluminum square tube. So let's move to the saw.